change it just for the guys you're fighting against. You kind of shoot yourself in the foot here. Alright, looks like they're going to be ready soon. 20 seconds. So Horde are back again in the Hurricane Fleet issue. Sleipnir set up. They flew really well, and they almost, you know, if that first volley had gone against, you know, a different direction and managed to insta-pop that kit soon, the match would have gone in a very different direction, I think, without those jumps. Trying to decide what to lock up here. What's going to be primary for these Typhoon Fleet issues? Not really sure. Possibly the Hyena. I've already got that locked in the Vigil. Okay, so straight away Horde are electing to go directly backwards, which is going to mean that Test are going to have to chase after them, doing damage, and they are chasing after them. So the Blackbird has taken a lot of damage from Kornak, but the artillery are probably in deep fall off now, so they're not doing the potential damage. So he is tanking just fine for now. We've got a Klutz in the Stiletto going way behind enemy lines, just teasing this sweeper of Jeremiah, saying, "Come on, you can catch me," just distracting this guy, and it's kind of wasting his time. So the Stiletto is actually doing quite a good job. Duggan now actually taking absolute hammering from. He's taken a lot of shield damage, probably from these bombers and the Hurricane Fleet issue. Sorry, the Typhoon. Wait, no, sorry, he's on the Test team, so he's actually attacking artillery volleys, and he's really hurting for it. But Horde got to be careful here. One of their ships, the Scimitar now, 108 kilometers, he's getting right to the edge of the boundary. He's got to be really careful. If he goes much further, he's going to die. Or at least, sorry, he's not going to insta-pop because they don't have the tools for that on CC, but he will boundary violate. The Rathor and the Sweep are taking a lot of damage here. He is tackled by, it looks like the Typhoon Fleet issue, so he's taking Typhoon Fleet, oh, pop! Okay, so he took volleys from probably the Typhoon Fleet issues, and probably got rapid heavy missiles, and they both just dumpstered him with those missiles just there as the Sweeper was sitting right at the end of the boundary. So the Sweeper was probably 60 kilometers, so quite a deep fall off there of his shield reps, which was not going to help. So yeah, that Sweeper died, and that's going to be a problem for the Pandemic Horde team. They're going to need every bit of tackle they can get to stop these battleships catching up to them. And the second Sweeper now taking damage as the Scimitar comes in to try and save him. The Scimitar going to get in there. I'm not sure. He seems to be tanking. Oh, Duggan in the Sweeper from Test just absolutely exploded there really rapidly. All his shields and everything just pop from those artillery. So the artillery starting to kick in now, starting to make some having an impression. The two Blackboards at the back, they're just slowly moving towards the action to get their jams into the optimal. They are catching up a little bit. The two bombers are in a dangerous position. I think if I was the artillery setup team now, I'd go for Gideon. He's approaching the action directly. It really wouldn't take much to pop him. I wouldn't be surprised if he just disappears from the action very quickly. It looks like the Sweeper of Lend is still primary, and yeah, look, Gideon is taking damage. He's just about to die, and then he's like, no, he's gonna get armor reps. It looks like, oh, he looks like he's survived. No, there he goes. So the Horde team also spotting that vulnerability and popping that bomber very quickly. But the Sweeper that is being ganked by the two Typhoon Fleet issues finally dies despite being under full reps from the Scimitar. And it looks like the artillery are going to turn their attention towards the Blackbird's possibly. No, he has got a shield. So it looks like the Typhoons are basically trying to catch up with the artillery team, one tackle ship at a time, and stomping it, because they can remove all the tackle and they can start pinning down things like the Scimitar, which they need to in order to win. Hyena of Law now taking damage. He's target painted, or he's target painting, I'm not sure, but he seems to be fine at the minute. So Horde keeping in quite a nice tight group, but they've got no tackle left basically. Their Stiletto's dead on both their Sweepers, so they're going to have to start moving quicker to stay away from the enemy now. If they get the caught, bad things are going to happen. It looks like Fouch in the Typhoon Fleet issue has got heavy newts on that Scimitar, and he is trying to get to him, and that's dragging him through the Pandemic Horde pack. So things get a little bit out of control now for Pandemic Horde. Their artillery are getting a little bit spread out, and they're going to lose transversal against these bigger ships. Having said that, it looks like, are they killing something? Possibly. Trying to get this Sweeper locked up. I can't see really what's dying here. The Law solo is primary still, and it looks like he's certainly getting neutered there possibly. He's staying alive for now. The artillery don't seem to be effective at the minute. They're not really hurting anything too bad.
Artillery doesn't seem to be doing well, mate.
No, they're just not having the impact they need to. They're going for the Blackbird now, and he is getting hit fairly hard, but there's a little bit of split damage. Oh, the Hyena finally goes down to the probably from the damage from the Typhoon. The Rapid Heavy score catching. Probably got. Did he get webbed? Yeah, it looks like possibly. He did get webbed and neutered out, so slowed down, and the Rapid Heavy's just taking him out. And the Scimitar's not being able to do anything about it. Brett Thomas in the Scimitar, he's in low shields, he is boosting and he is moving fast, he's not tackled, so he's alright at the minute. There's too much spread damage from these artillery ships. Jeremiah Frost taking a lot of damage from the artillery now, and they might be able to get a free kill here on the Sweeple, but at this point the Sweeple is not particularly important. These Typhoon Fleet issues are just running rampage in your team. You don't need to worry about tackle, you need to be able to counterpin these Typhoons, but they can't. The Typhoons are doing absolutely brutal work here. They're actually keeping up with the battlecruiser team. They're just ploughing straight into them and using those heavy nukes to slow things down, and using the rapid heavy missiles just to pick things off one at a time. And the artillery team doesn't have an answer for battleships. They've got nowhere near the amount of DPS they need to take down a battleship, and with Logi reps. So Tesla got this in the bag, I think. Even though there's a lot of points on the grid for Horde, they're just not applying the damage very well at all. They're kind of like going around in a circle around the Horde team, which means they're going to struggle to hit Horde, who are just kind of so. Scimitar's still fine. There's not really any. So one team's just running away from the other basically at this point, and I think Tesla winning on points. So they're probably going to have to think of something. Well, they have managed to hit Soladaris in a bomber, so the bomber's got into optimal within the medium artillery guns of these battle cruisers. So he's going to have to pilot really well to stay alive. He's also going to have to receive full Logi reps, which he is, and he is tanking just about. The volleys were coming in at a non-coordinated rate. They do need to work on the coordination. I think this Horde artillery setup, if they're going to work, if all those volleys came in at once at their optimal, when they pressed F1 and were told to fire, then I don't think this bomber should stay alive, even with the full reps. But he is staying alive, he has caught reps, he is absolutely fine. And it looks like a Vigil has been caught by the Sweeple of Jeremiah, and he's going to die really quickly. Yeah, there he goes. Horde losing another ship now. They are just down to their core ships. They've got no tackle, no support left whatsoever, apart from the... actually, no, forgive me, they've got the Stiletto alive there, who was trying to do a drive-by scram, I think, to save that Vigil, but it didn't work. And the Sweeple was just ignoring him. Stiletto just doing a little scram there to slow the Sweeple down. Sweeple's now primary, and he is taking a lot of artillery fire there. He might be in trouble, we'll see. He is armor tanked, so he doesn't need to panic just yet. Looks like, yeah, no, the reps are coming in on him. He looks like he's going to be fine. Again, the volleys not being timed all together, possibly hurting those guys. So he's just turned around and he's going to grab the Stiletto anyway, and he's going to probably mop that Stiletto up. Once he's free of tackle, he'll be able to burn away, keep transversal and stay alive. So on the other side of the grid, the Typhoon's still running rampage. They have got BAP 1811 has actually caught up to Brett Thomas in the Scimitar, and Brett is going to be neutered now and probably got a web or a scram on him, so he's going to start really struggling, as the EOS is actually catching up as well. The EOS actually got damage drones out now, they seem to have abandoned. So you can see the whole grid is really spread out now, which is kind of in Test's advantage, because they've got more players on grid, so they can kind of work in small groups against these other ships who are just slowly dying. Interestingly, the artillery ships does not be able to apply any damage whatsoever really here. The Scimitar's taking a ton of damage, he's full boosting. Once the big cap boosters are gone, he's going to die. And then I would imagine that Horde are going to call this, because they've got no Logi left, they've got no support, they've got no E-War, they've only got the 4 core DPS ships that are not applying any damage at all. So this is as good as over, I think. Sorry, I just paused for breath there. You still with me?
I'm still with you, man. I don't know how you do it. It's a commentating is a skill, man. That's hardcore shit, especially when you're on your own, man.
Yeah, you're
Like,
just
I don't
keep
even attempt it.
talking and making shit up and just filling in the gaps is quite tricky.
It is hard, man. Much respect.
Have
I
you
think a
got-
lot of people. I think a lot of people misjudge how much effort goes into it.
So the Sleipnir, Romeo, and the Hurricane Fleet issue of 3XAR taking damage. The Hurricane Fleet issue is going to die pretty quickly. He's got no reps. He's caught by the double typhoons and the Eos and everything's piling on top of him. He's going to die real quick sharp. Jeremiah Frost still being. So these Hurricanes trying. I wonder how well they would have done if they had just stopped trying to kill these TD3s and just put damage on one of the Hurricane Typhoon Fleet issues. I think they've got around about 600-700 DPS, so they might have, they would have been hitting those Typhoons perfectly and stressing them out a little bit, and possibly like shooting the Typhoons. I haven't even locked the Typhoons, so maybe they were shooting them, but shooting the Typhoons and getting the Logi to reps onto those Typhoons. Okay, Batboy's primed at one point, he's got no shield damage. Might have been a good idea just to stress the Logi out, and then they could target switch quickly onto other things. But yeah, Horde caught this match, it's over.